Alright folks, Holiday Ops 2024 is almost here, and the $1,000,000 question is, should you spend money for large boxes containing large vehicles, like 2 premium tier 9 heavies, which is quite hefty in gold compensation, but are you going to miss out like a Pz.176 situation, or are they all crap? Like, not really worth it, right? Well, spoiler, it's not a Pz.176 situation. You could afford to miss it. In all honesty, they're not going to do that again, but all the core vehicles are somewhat different than their super test versions released earlier. So let's do a quick recap on all the core vehicles featured in the large boxes. So starting with the Pz.Kpfw Tiger Mouse, 120 tons. The firepower, the mobility is about the same. The armor is dramatically nerfed. Unfortunate. They buffed the camo though, which is nice, but that doesn't matter much. It's a super heavy tank. It doesn't matter. They buffed the track armor, but negating the side skirts dramatically. So it's nice that the side armor is the same, but side skirts is dramatically weaker, with thicker tracks. Acting as side skirts? Not really. They nerfed the mantlet armor, they nerfed the cupola armor, they nerfed the turret armor, nerfed the upper plate slightly, and nerfed the lower plate, and the mudguards. They nerfed a lot on this vehicle, so go check it out on tanks.gg, but this is a quick summary, so you can see lots of areas got nerfed, especially no more side skirts. Side skirts was 2 different plates. One was 50mm, one was 50 plus 20. So it's pretty good, but that got nerfed. No more anyways. It's disappeared, surprisingly. Nerfed the rear armor, and nerfed the rear of the cupola as well. So, ugh. Also, originally, the top of the turret does not count towards space armor. So, this little plate bolted on top is not actually there. Now, the side skirts is not there anymore. So, it's more like the 𝗩𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗀 𝗶𝗄 in the tech tree, more or less. 120 at the hull sides. The lower plate is not as thick as the tech tree counterpart, but okay, I mean, still 210-ish millimeters effective from the front. Upper plate is still like the E100's upper plate, but high explosive round hitting this area is more susceptible to damage than originally 200mm. So yeah, no more side skirts. Why? It looks like side skirts, right? That is side skirts. If you put this thing on an E75, that is side skirts. But no, it's just random mudguard or something. That doesn't count. So the armor got dramatically nerfed, but firepower wise, it's still slightly better than the 𝗩𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗀 𝗶𝗄. So accuracy, aim time, decent enough. DPM is alright. For super heavy, it is a 128, so large caliber gun. Not half bad. Health is the same, so that's okay. Mobility is still pretty much the same 10 horsepower per ton ratio, but it is 120 tons, so don't ram this thing unless you're stupid. But camo is still a little bit better than originally, but not too much. And 400 meters of view range. So what is surprising is originally on the super test, the default camo for a stationary vehicle is 5.1 for some reason, but alright, that's superfluous. It's a super heavy, it doesn't matter that much. So this armor nerf is ubiquitous all the way around the vehicle. Even this little lip for the engine deck is not spared. It's 130mm to 40mm on this little strip right here. So god damn it. Now originally I rated this vehicle at 7 out of 10 without seeing the actual armor. I thought it was pretty good. Now it's, I mean, compared with the 𝗩𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗀, it's alright. I mean, armor is about the same, but weaker lower plate. You have a little bit better of a gun compared to the 128 on that vehicle with better alpha, similar to the E75 that got buffed. Better dispersion while moving, and carry more ammo. Horsepower per ton ratio is not as good, but you weigh more, obviously. A lot more, like 50% more. And better gun depression, and elevation too. View range is the same. Yeah, lower plate is not as good as on the VK. It's about 203 on this slide, but take a look at the VK 4502 PSB. It's 170 at the rear or lower plate. Yeah, 170 to about 240, 250-ish millimeters effective. So this lower plate is a lot better on the tech tree version. It's still 120 at the hull sides, even without the side skirts. Upper plate is also 200 millimeter, like with the E100. So it's like this. So cupola is also like this now. So no more space armor at the hull sides. It is a premium though. Still a 6-ish out of 10, but yeah, side skirts make or break this vehicle, especially side scraping. Maybe 5.5, 6 feels fine. Everybody will still spam gold. Armor is still decent. Don't overcommit. I mean, originally you can just side skirt or side scrape like this with the side skirts. They won't even pin because the side skirts are so good. Now you have to be a little bit more cautious. So 6 out of 10, still decent enough. Alright, moving on to the relic. That is the Object 752. This oscillating autoloader has been in the game files for about 5 years now, I believe, or at least 4 years. So originally in patch 1.8, and this was the original super test screenshot of the stats. Originally it had 17.4 horsepower per ton ratio, which is not half bad, and 50 km/h top speed. Pretty good. Gun depression was good, gun elevation was crap. Accuracy was not half bad without the 100% crew. Same goes with the aim time. But they nerfed the penetration, nerfed the engine power, even more so with the current version. So 17 to 14 to 12.8. It was 50 km/h top speed with 17.5 horsepower per ton ratio. Now it's 12.8. I mean, it has a little bit better turn resistance, so effectively better top speed, but still. God, this thing got nerfed. Penetration got nerfed twice, from 256 to 248 to 240. I mean, oh god. Armor is the same. It is still troll-ish, but originally we used a rectangular model for the gun barrel. Now it's circular. Small fun fact. It's still troll-ish. There are still side skirts on this vehicle, so you can troll a few shots. There's a weird bulge, but this bulge is 140 or so, so you will troll a few shots. So the main weak spot is still the cupolas for the loader, for the commander on top, but I mean, it is autoloader and you will surprise people, but 3 seconds between each shot is not that quick of a burst, right? I mean, side scraping, space armor, not half bad. Trollish area, but don't overcommit. Yeah, commit too much, you'll still get pinned. So about like 30-ish degrees, you'll be fine. It is somewhat V-shape, which is good. Alright, so shoot the cupolas on top for the loader, for the commander, but it's only 190, and it's still pretty big too. Upper plate is 215 to 275. So shoot the lower plate or very top of the upper plate, like 30mm for the driver roof. Yeah, you can overmatch the driver roof right here. Okay, but yeah, it's trollish armor, more or less. So autoloader, 1800 DPM is not great, but autoloader nonetheless. It's okay. Surprising thing is the gun depression. You'll surprise a few people with the gun depression on this thing, but that's practically it. Yeah, mobility got dramatically nerfed. It's like with the armor on the Tiger Mouse. That was a key feature of support heavy tanks, or like French heavy tank per se with the autoloaders, right? You support other heavy tanks by triple shotting into the rear of opponents when they're not expecting it, but it's a lot less nimble now. a lot less mobility wise to move about and flank. So that's unfortunate. That sucks. Alright, originally I rated this vehicle at 6.5 out of 10, and that was the original mobility, but that got nerfed. It's like a 5 now, 5.5. I mean, you will throw a few shots and you will burst damage for a surprising amount, but it's not the quickest, right? It's 3.2 seconds between each shot. Yeah, 3.2 seconds between each shot. So it's not the fastest. It's not like 2 seconds between each shot. Also, accuracy sucks. Aim time sucks. And dispersion while moving sucks. So definitely close range burst vehicle, but you need to have support. 5.5 or so. Definitely 5.5. Now moving on to a vehicle that actually got buffed. The XM66F. So originally, yeah, not half bad on paper, just a little bit slow, right? They buffed the mobility on this vehicle. They buffed the DPM too, even though it doesn't need it, but they buffed the mobility by almost 2 horsepower per ton ratio, which is pretty good to rev up now. Dispersion also got buffed while moving. You cannot put a vertical stabilizer on this vehicle, unfortunately, but DPM, not half bad now. I mean, still good enough originally, but it's more like a pseudo medium tank at this point. So penetration is not that of a tank destroyer per se. I mean, the lowest tank destroyer is about 250, so it's more like a turtle in terms of penetration, but or heavy tank in terms of penetration. But DPM is high, aim time is good enough, accuracy is also good enough. It's limited traverse as well, okay, but it has the gun depression, so that's nice. And fully gun depressed, you will hide the loader and commander cupolas on top slightly. I mean, it is still 100mm, but yeah, upper plate is not as strong as you would believe. It's no 𝗲𝗄𝗯. It's like a 𝗲𝗄𝗯 without the armor, so only turret armor. But it is about the DPM compared to the 𝗲𝗄𝗯, to say the least. So put a rammer on this thing. It is faster to rev now, so that's good. Camo is more like a medium tank. View range, kind of below average, but it is a tank destroyer. So health, about the same as a sniper medium tank at tier 8. So this thing is like a freaking medium tank. Play it like a medium tank, only haul down, don't expose your side armor or engine deck. It is like with the E4s and E3s. Overcommit to side scraping and you will expose your engine deck in the back. So this is the weak area right there. And you'll get shot at. It's only like 30 or 50mm. So yeah, don't expose your rear. Also get that engine damage too. I mean, DPM seems good, but how much did I rate this thing originally? Let's see. 6 out of 10. I mean, not half bad now when I think. That was without the armor. I mean, that was definitely without seeing the actual armor. I still say 6 out of 10. Now I see the upper plate is not as strong as a 𝗲𝗄𝗯, but then again, it was never as strong as a 𝗲𝗄𝗯. Still 6 out of 10. It's mostly the mobility buff and the DPM. Yeah, definitely better DPM, better mobility than the 𝗲𝗄𝗯. Yeah, 6 out of 10. And finally, the Japanese introductory heavy tank with the gun cooling, the Type 63. So this vehicle got slightly nerfed. Originally it had 360 alpha, comparable to the Renegade, the T54 E2. Technically they call it M54 now, but yeah, they nerfed the alpha on the gun to 320 from 360. So unfortunate. Yeah, 360 was the original alpha with about 2000 DPM, so gun cooling on all the stuff, but they trade some DPM in terms of alpha for better mobility now, so give it better top speed and better engine power, which is nice, but they nerfed the DPM on this vehicle. It is more like a sniper now. It still has the turret armor to boot with the troll-ish sloping of the oscillating turret, but yeah, DPM is only 2000 with a rammer, so not the best, but Aim time is good. Base accuracy without the cooling is also decent enough, but go down to 0.27 with the cooling, so not half bad. And the armor is very troll-ish on the turret. It's very troll-ish. It's about 300mm effective. So if you're gun depressed, even better. And funny thing is, you can actually shoot through the vehicle in the middle. There's nothing there as a collision model. You can just shoot through the vehicle. Upper plate is garbage. You could bounce a few medium tank guns or light tank guns, but don't expect much. It's like a 𝗵𝗋 practically. At this point, it is a support heavy tank. It's not versatile. Support. Like 𝗵𝗋1. Or 1945. Or what the premium tank is. Whatever. Is it 1945 or 1948? That's a rare vehicle. You don't really see that thing nowadays. But yeah, mobility buff is actually not half bad. It is more like a medium tank now. Yet the 𝗵𝗋s are not fast. By all means, 𝗵𝗋s are not fast. Let's do a quick checkup on 𝗵𝗋. 1951. Alright. 100mm at the hull front. Alright. 14.89 without a turbocharger. So it's like with this vehicle, but faster. And without having to fumble with the autoloader. Which is nice. Also, aim time is quicker. But you have to wait for the gun depression to work with the hydropneumatic suspension. Whereas this vehicle just have the gun depression. Just baseline. But yeah, this thing doesn't weigh that much. Only 26 tons for a heavy tank. It feels like a freaking light tank. This thing weighs about 40-ish tons. 52. Alright. So, yeah. Not half bad. But originally I rated it at 6 out of 10. It's still faster now, but DPM is slightly less. Okay enough trade-off, I guess. Still a 6 out of 10, but yeah, overall, it feels like most of these vehicles are 6 out of 10 or so, right? 6 out of 10, downgraded from 7 or 7.5. Object 752 got nerfed in terms of mobility, so about 5.5 or so, maybe 6. So it wouldn't be that bad, but it's no BZ-176 situation. No, you're not missing out. So don't worry too much if you're missing out by not buying boxes. There's no repeat of last year. So last year this vehicle was the hype. This thing is still stupid. God damn it. If you're top tier with this vehicle, holy butt fuck, you're dead in a tier 6. Not even close in a tier 6. Oh, trade shots with a KV2? Yes, please. You think you have a high explosive round? Get good, scrub. Definitely. Not even fair of a vehicle. So you're not missing out. It's not a BZ-176 situation. But the good thing about this year is you are having 2 tier 9 premiums. So if you're buying a lot of boxes to get duplicates for gold compensation, then you are in luck, because tier 9s are worth more than tier 8s. Normally, not the light tank, not the future model 75. No, not that vehicle. So you get 13,000 gold in compensation. Now granted, if you get repeats of the lower tiers, yeah, they're not worth as much as with last year's, but you get a tier 2 and a tier 3. This is tier 4. Tier 5s. So yeah, the gold worth of lower tier is not as much to counterbalance the higher end, but yeah, 13,000 gold is not half bad for a repeat in terms of compensation. But there you go, folks, a quick repeat or a recap of all the vehicles that we covered. The Tiger Mouse came out summer of this year, pretty recent in a sense. This vehicle is old. Object 752 came out freaking 2019 or 2018, one of which. So this was a redo of a review. So I already did a review originally, but yeah, I did another one. This one came out spring of this year, so yeah, a little bit older than the rest. And this vehicle came out around August of this year. So yeah, no old vehicle featured in this list other than this ancient thing, but I'm still waiting for the Object 590. We'll likely see it. This was a special tank. This was not a premium, so they could turn stuff around, make premium tanks out of special tanks, but already on the Object 590, guys. It's an auto reloader, T54 practically, projectile T54. But well, as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Get up to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride and burn for your desire.